Most important thing I need to let every one of you know is that self-harm is not a problem. And you might wonder why I'm saying that, because it sounds really wrong, but hear me out. Hi everyone, I'm Kay and welcome to my channel and video. Today I'm going to be talking about something that's got nothing much to do with autism or Asperger's, but a topic that I feel is really relevant and important to the young people of today. So if you notice a friend, your child, or yourself showing symptoms of self-harm, the most important thing you need to do is not to have any judgment. Self-harm is a symptom. It's not a problem. Just like a cough or a rash, self-harm is an expression, is a behavior that comes from a psychological problem that's deeper. So if you don't solve the problem, you won't be able to solve self-harm. So the advice I'm going to give is not from a professional psychologist or anything, but mostly from my own experience. Once you realize that you are harming yourself, maybe you are pinching or cutting or purposefully causing pain to yourself, such as banging your head on the wall or bruising yourself, you need to first accept that you are doing it. If you deny that your friend or your child is self-harming, then they will simply just hide it. They won't trust you enough to let you know, and they won't even try to solve it. They will just hide it, and the problem will simply go on. And the only thing that's solved is that you won't see it. They will try to make you comfortable by not letting you see it. So right after you accept that it's happening, the next thing you do is to divert or to transfer to something else.
There are many ways to transfer or to redirect the self-injurious behavior to a less harmful one. There have been some suggestions from people who have had experience with self-harm that they would suggest, for example, holding or sucking on an ice cube, or to just pull a rubber band against your wrist and let go so that it will just give you a satisfying pinch. Personally, I think the ice cube method works quite well. I don't really recommend the rubber band thing. Personally, I would recommend redirecting the frustration, the energy, or the need for pain to be replaced with vocalizing, for example, like singing, crying, shouting. Crying is your body's way of coming to terms with your emotion in the least harmful way. If in a desperate situation, if you are able to go somewhere and just cry loudly, that would be really, really good, I think.
My personal problem with self-harm is due to the fact that I'm autistic and I have a very high level of anxiety. So to hide my more obvious stims, such as flapping or vocal stims, I have developed ways to hide it from the adults. So I started doing things like biting myself until I was bruised, or I would start to pinch myself because I couldn't shake my leg in class. In my case, the solve of the problem for me is that I wasn't allowed to stim. I wasn't allowed to flap my hand or to shake my leg because it was socially unacceptable. So I started pinching, I started biting. In my adult life, I found other ways to switch over to other sources of healthier stims. So I had to relearn how to flap my hands and all that. So the nervous energy can be dissipated.
And if possible, mindful ways will probably be the best way to get out of the cycle of hurting yourself. I like to describe mindfulness as some kind of active meditation, which means the ability to take stock of yourself, to know how your physical and mental condition is. So for example, if you're sitting on a chair, you can quickly take stock of yourself. Are you comfortable? Is your body in pain? Are you feeling frustrated? Are you feeling angry or tired? Once you're able to understand your thresholds, your limits, or where your breaking point is, it's easier to take appropriate steps so that you can get out of the situation or have time to transfer or redirect that urge to something else. Once you are more aware, you'll also be able to stop what you are doing if that's causing you distress. Like in the case of Simone Biles, she knows her problem. She's highly self-aware, and therefore she's able to stop before it gets worse. And it's the same thing, that the more aware you are of your situation, the more accepting you are of what you are doing, the better you can come up with a solution or a measure.
So in summary, self-harm is a symptom. It is not a problem. Do not treat it like it is the problem. The second point is to accept it, acknowledge it. Okay, the third step is to direct and transfer the urge or the desire to self-harm into something else. This is only a stopgap. It doesn't address the problem, but it can at least lessen the level of self-harming into something much less injurious. And the fourth point is find the source of the problem. You will be surprised that the problem could be something as innocuous as lack of sleep. Lack of sleep in the long run can cause fatigue, especially, when was the last time you had a good night's rest? Over a long period of time, the lack of sleep can cause fatigue, and fatigue can cause anxiety and, of course, stress. You should see a doctor, yes, a psychologist, yes. Make sure you find an informed psychologist or therapist and go into it with the mindset of supporting your loved one by not judging them, and make sure that you let them know that they are not wrong. They are simply going through a difficult time right now. Okay, I hope this video is going to help some of you, because I'm really disappointed in how Singapore is dealing with mental health issues. Because 20 years ago, this was still a problem. We had to hide any sign of self-harm from the adults because we know they would just snitch on us. And 20 years later, I don't see any improvement, and this is really disappointing. Adults should be able to do better. And now that I'm an adult, I feel like I need to do something about it. The media has already told you all the ways you can get help, but here's a slightly different perspective on it. I hope it can help you.
Okay, that's it for today, and I also apologize for my slightly awkward speaking pattern here because I'm wearing braces right now. Thank you all for watching this video, and I hope it will help someone out there somehow. Okay, so I'll see you next video. Bye bye!